Most of you guys out there will not receive a call on August 1st, and that is okay. Do not panic. Don't be in a rush to get interest building and everything like that. Don't think this is going to happen fast. Levels. This is why. Okay guys, so today we're going to dive into what 27 should be thinking heading into high school season, heading into the summer. Remember guys, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and put a like on this video if you feel like it brings you a lot of value. It just really helps us out with the algorithm. We have our QR codes. If you want to work with us, Elite Sport Advising, scan the Get Recruited QR code. If you're just looking to have some questions answered about the recruiting process, we have an hourly consulting QR code. And then also, if you're looking for an arm program that's going to totally change your arm velocity, your durability, and your overall accuracy as a thrower, scan that QR code for the arm program. But let's get right into what 27 should be thinking. So number one, if you're 27, you're in no rush. All right, you're in no rush to make any kind of decision or to think that the recruiting process is going to really speed up here soon. The reality, guys, is that most schools will not be focused on 27s this summer. Most schools, generally speaking, will not be focused on 27 because they're still trying to figure out their 26 class. They're looking at filling up the portal of the guys they lose at the end of this season in college. And so the reality is they got to get the portal guys figured out. They lose 10 portal guys or 10 guys to the portal. They need to fill those spots. They need to finish out their 26 class still, at least most schools, because the process is going so much slower, most schools still need to finish out their 26s. So the 27s, not going to see a whole lot of focus this summer until we get near the end, near the middle of July to the end of July into August, and then into the camp season. That's when focus is really going to shift to 27s. Most of you guys out there will not receive a call on August 1st, and that is okay. Do not panic. Don't be in a rush to get interest building and everything like that. Obviously, with Elite Sports Advising, we help out with that. We start communications with coaches right away. We get those communications started, conversations started, and ultimately, when August 1st comes around, try to get our clients on calls as fast as possible. But even for our clients, there are some guys who are just not ready to have a conversation with the school because what has shifted in the last year and a half is schools are really focused on that August 1st date on top-tier players, the Tier 1 type players you guys have heard me talk about, because schools know at the end of the day we can just go get proven guys in the portal if we miss out on a few high schoolers. There's just not a sense of urgency to get high school recruiting done as soon as communication is allowed. Okay? So don't be in a rush. Don't panic. Don't think that there's going to be a whole lot of calls on August 1st for the vast majority of you guys out there. And that's not a problem. There's still a lot of recruiting that's going to be done, and most recruiting and commitments are going to be made in your summer following your junior spring. So, guys, don't be in a rush. Don't think this is going to happen fast. Number two, focus on development. Now, there's many phases of development, right? There's many phases of development, meaning there's physical. Okay, so how you look in the uniform, your strength, your explosiveness, your speed, things you can develop physically, we need to be focusing on, right? Guys, more than ever in college baseball, unless you are super fast guy with really good bat to ball or other kind of outlier type players, you need to look the part. You need to look like a Division I college baseball player. So if you're sitting there at home right now watching this video and you're 145 pounds and you're not an elite runner and you don't play center field or something like that, like, time to get in the weight room. It's time to get serious, guys. If you want to play Division I baseball, the time is now. Start today. Start making the decisions every day that are going to turn you into a Division I player. If you're 145 pounds, like I said, get in the weight room. Eat 4,500, 5,000 calories a day. Eat 150 grams of protein a day. You're going to see results in the first month. Big time, in a big way. But you got to make that decision to start now. So we have the physical. Then we have the mental. And this is, Approach, things you guys have seen me talk about a bunch, how to handle failure, how to train your mind to deal with things differently than you're used to. This is something that you need to be focused on this summer when you start to fail or you start to struggle. Reorient yourself. Tell yourself, hey, I got plenty of summer left. I'm going to be fine. I got a game tomorrow. I'm going to get it taken care of. We're going to get this ship righted. Or your approach. How do you, when you step in the box, what are you hunting? Where are you hunting it? What speed? These are things that separate players. Are you paying attention to the game? Are you picking up tendencies from the pitcher? When he gets 0-2, does he go to a slider in the dirt every time? 1-1, is he throwing a changeup or a slider every time? These are things that help you know what you're going to get at the plate because you're paying attention and not just talking to everyone in the dugout and you have no idea what this guy's doing on the mound. All right. The third one is in-game. Okay, and what I mean by that is getting the necessary reps in the batter's box, on the pitcher's mound, on defense that allow you to continue to develop your baseball IQ and yourself overall as a player. Physical traits are one thing. You look stronger, you're going to be more explosive, you're going to have more bat speed. Mental, you're going to change the way you think about the game and how you approach the game. But in-game is I'm developing as a defender. I'm developing as a hitter because now I'm more experienced. I've gotten more at-bats. I've learned how to pay attention. And I have an idea of my identity as a hitter and my identity as a defender. Where do I struggle? All right, my backhand's not great at short. All right, when you're working on your defense reps, you're really focusing on the backhand, making that become more comfortable to you. Guys, if there's a part of your game where you're like, man, I really just don't like doing that because I'm not good at it, I'm not comfortable, bam, you have the cheat code on what you need to improve. The guys that get to Division I and are stars are the guys who look at their weaknesses as something they need to work on every day. They don't avoid that kind of work. They don't avoid the velo machine because they struggle with it. They just keep going on to it until they get comfortable and now it becomes something that's easy for them to do. You guys have heard me talk about it a bunch, but that's what separates the best players. Number 3, play in the right tournaments or the best tournaments. We'll go tourneys for short. So the reality, guys, is that our job at Elite Sports Advising is to get max amount of eyes on you. For our clients, we send out their schedules. We're in constant communication with coaches, updating them on the schedule. Hey, he's pitching Tuesday at North Atlanta High School or whatever, 3:30. So they know where you're going to be and when. But if you're not working with us, if you don't have someone that's got those connections and really streamlining the whole process for you and really letting you know exactly where you're at in the process the entire time, then you got to make sure you're playing in the right tournaments. If you're not playing in the major tournaments, WWBA, PG National or Prep Baseball National Championship, etc., some of the tournaments in the West Coast, in the Midwest, Northeast, if you're not playing in highly attended tournaments by coaches, it's going to be virtually impossible for them to evaluate you and see you. The biggest difficulty that players have in today's recruiting process is just having a coach watch them play. Like I said, we take care of that because we're in communication with the coaches. But if you're not working with us, you need to figure out a way to get a coach's attention. DM them, email them. Does that work very efficiently? No, but you have to be doing something to try to get their attention, get them your schedule so they know who you are. If they don't know who you are, they're not going to see you. These tournaments have 10,000 players in them. There's games that are an hour and a half, 2 hours apart in the same tournament. So a coach has to know who he's going to see every day and every hour of that day. So if you're not on that list, you're basically hoping for him coming to a game to watch someone else, and you just happen to have such a good game that he notices you and recognizes you and looks at you as a player. Man, I want to see this guy again. Now play that back in your mind and tell me how likely you think that is to happen. Exactly. It's very small percentage chance. You're just you're hoping you're finding a needle in a haystack. I mean, that's literally what these tournaments are now. Even though they are the most highly attended, there's still so many players, doesn't mean you're going to get seen. So figure out strategies to do that. Like I said, if you want to work with us, great. Go to that Get Recruited QR code, scan it. We'll meet with you, talk about what we do, and see if it's a great fit. But we really streamline this process because we are all former college coaches, college players, professional players. So when I reach out to coaches, these are guys I played against, I coached against, etc. It's a personal relationship. I don't send out emails. We don't send out emails as a company. We don't send out DMs to coaches. We text and we call them. It's purely personal communication from guys that we have great relationships with. So try to separate yourself if you're not working with us. because there's not a lot of guys out there that have those connections. Now, this is going to put you on the right path. Remember, there's no rush. Don't expect a lot to happen August 1st if you're a 27. It's just not realistic. I talked to a handful of coaches last summer before August 1st, and I said, hey, what are you thinking for, how many calls you make in August 1st? And these are Power 4 schools, mid-major schools, and they all said the same thing essentially. Some operate a little bit differently, but they all said, we're gonna. One of them even joked, well, if you play for Team USA, we're gonna get in the conversation with you and try to make an offer. But right now, we're just gonna wait and see if we can get any of these really top tier guys, and based on that, we'll know how much more we need to recruit in high school versus portal, right? If we can get some top tier high school guys, we don't need to get as many high school guys, and we can go more in the portal. If we don't get any top tier guys, we're gonna need probably a little bit more high school guys, generally speaking, and then try to get some top tier guys in the portal. So the portal and NIL has totally transformed how recruiting is done, and then you add on to that the new communication rules. Now schools are just saying no, there's just no rush at all to fill up a recruiting class on August 1st. They just don't have to. All right. So let me know what you think, guys. Let me know if this is helpful. Put down in the comments what you think. Appreciate all the support. We'll be back again with another video. Again, if you've watched all the way to this point, you've probably enjoyed it. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back again tomorrow.